Hello and welcome back. It's Steve at Bucks Coins and welcome to a PreDecimal coin hunt. I've gone into my box of PreDecimal coins. I fished out a handful or so of coins that we can have a look at. I tried to vary them a little bit so you can have some different coins to look at. The first one here is a half crown. This one was minted in 1967, so it was the last year that they were printed for, or minted should I say, for distribution. It has Elizabeth II's initials ER. It has the crown above the shield of the royal family, and there is Her Majesty. The coin's in good nick. But then again, for its age, you'd expect it to be. It wasn't used for that long. Next we have a threepenny bit. This is 1938. It has the flax flowers. 1938, which means to say it was the Queen's father, George VI. Mintage on these sort of things, you're talking 14.5 million, or thereabout. Another threepenny bit, 1952. Now 1952 was the actual year that George VI died and Elizabeth was inaugurated as Queen, but she didn't start appearing on the coins until 1953. So this is George VI, even though it's dated on the year that he died. Again, it's the flax seeds. We have next an English £1 shilling. £1 is one from Elizabeth II's reign. There's Elizabeth's portrait. This one is dated 1964, and it shows the three lions passant inside a shield with the crown above. So it's the English. It's the English shilling. We have a series next of four half pennies. First one is 1942, and it shows the Golden Hind on a calm sea. George VI. You can get variants of these coins on the back. You'll sometimes see a rough sea underneath the galleon. And there's an example of the rough sea just underneath the galleon there. This one is from 1966, so it's our current Queen. But the rough sea is just underneath the galleon there. The lines are more wavy. Again, this is another one from the rough sea, 1964. The lines have bigger waves in them. The calm sea is just virtually a straight line with very little movement in that line. There's a copy of the one with the the calm sea, and that one is from looks like 1966. Yeah, 1966. Her Majesty the Queen on the front. These half pennies, the lower the denomination normally in PreDecimal coins means the higher the mintage. And you get pennies in the 60s being minted, and I have an example of one here from 1963. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good little or no wear on it. It's beginning to show signs of patina. You can still clearly see the lighthouse in the background, but the mintage on this one from 1963 is 119,733,600. That's an extraordinary amount of coins that went into circulation. Here's one from George V's era. There you go, there's George V on the front. And on the back it's from 1931. Now, to show you the differences, this was only, the mintage on this one was 19,843,200. So that's a huge mintage difference there between George V, a coin of George V, and one of our queens, Elizabeth. Now, the last but one penny in this one is from 1947, which is the Queen's father, George VI. And the mintage has gone up slightly from his father's reign, and these ones are around about 71,980,800. And you go back then to the one that was quite a while ago, which was Victoria, around about the turn of the century. This particular penny is from 1862, and this was minted. This was quite highly minted because wages weren't that big in Victorian times. You know, a couple of 3 pennies would have been a week's wages, and so therefore they had to mint them quite heavily, these sort of coins. And the Victoria one here is 50,534,000, and I suppose an awful lot of that, or I thought an awful lot of that, was people were paid in cash and the wages weren't that high in comparison to today. They were pennies for some of the more menial jobs. Here we have a very bright 1967 portcullis threepenny bit, brass colour, castellated around the outside, Elizabeth II. This one is very bright and has hardly seen any use by the looks of it. It is manufactured in 1967, which of course was the last year that coins were produced for circulation, or should I say the PreDecimal coins were used for circulation. Next, I have a bunch of sixpences and a shilling. So, sixpences, George VI, 1948. The main differences with sixpences is the design on the reverse of the coin. This one shows the St Edward crown with George's monogram, George VI's monogram, JR, and the date is 1948. So this is just after the silver period. You compare it to an Elizabeth II coin, and this one is 1960, again 1967, so it's the last year coins were minted. Let me just move that a bit forward so I can hold it a bit higher for you. On this one, the back consists of the flowers of the United Kingdom, so it's a bit similar to what's on our pound coin at the moment. You've got the thistle, you've got a leek, you've got a thistle, a leek, a clover, and the rose, which is the rose, is the Tudor rose on the coin. Now that is one of the major differences between the queen, our current queens, the back of the sixpence on the current queen, which you can see again here in this 1963 version of the sixpence. And the next one, again, this one is more obvious of the flowers of the nation, and this one was done in 1967 again. Okay. And the last sixpence shows again the George VI monogram underneath the crown. And that one has a date year also 1948. The last two coins are the bob and the two bob, or the shilling and the 2 shillings. The first one is a 1948 shilling from the George VI period, and it actually shows the rampant lion of Scotland. It has a mace and a sword in either of his hands, and if you look at either side you have the 19 and then the 48 on the other side of the lion, and underneath the 19 and the 48 you have a thistle and the Scottish saltire. On the left if you look, there is a Scottish saltire flag in a shield, and on the right there is a thistle in a shield. So this makes this one the Scottish £1 coin along with the lion rampant. The other one is also from George VI period, 1947, and it's a 2 shilling piece. Unlike Her Majesty the Queen's, which has a shield in it, her father's had, and this is the United Kingdom one, it's got the thistle on the left, then directly underneath the crown is the rose, the Tudor rose, and to the right of the crown as you look is a shamrock, and at the bottom, oh no it's not, it's just a stem. It's the stem of the rose. On the top of it you've got the crown, and I believe that's St Edward crown, which is the crown that the monarch tends to be given during a coronation, or used during a coronation. Okay, that ends this hunt. If we just take a look down, there are the coins that we just had a look at. Which one of those was your favourite? If you're having a hunt, I hope you're able to find the coins that you're looking for. If you are buying coins, I hope you can get them for the price that you want to pay. I'll leave you with, if you've enjoyed this, please can you give me a thumbs up, and I would be absolutely delighted if you subscribe to the channel. Until we meet again, which I hope will be in another one of my videos shortly. Ta-ra for now. Bye bye now. Bye.